I do know that Griseous has a pocket Terry. He has been working on that on Elite Smash from time to time, but the Owl Terry, it's gonna be foreign to me. Like,
Please be a button check. Please be a button. It's not. It's not. It's not a button check. It's not a button check. Right. I'm gonna level with you here. I've been commentating Smash in general for about 7 years. I don't think I've ever commentated, certainly in Ultimate, I've never commentated Owl when he's playing a serious character. This has never happened. I've had to walk through, I've had to deal with the Owl's online Mii brawler that's dressed like the pig from Minecraft and is doing the Falcon Punch move. And I'm less disgusted than I am right now when there are two Terrys. And you know what? I'm not angry with Griseous. I'm disappointed that he agreed to this. You were in winners finals. There are people here paid good money to see some hot gameplay, and I'm seeing two blonde boys with a go meter paying $5.99 each. Some people pay more than $5.99 to be here. Oh my god.
And now we're seeing the high APM come out, and Owl going to take that first start, go online. This is... Darkstalk will be proud. That's all I can say.
Oh my goodness.
What's that speech? The French are so free.
That's not... You know what? To be real, we're all the losers here, guys.
Honestly.
We're all the losers here. But to be frank, they're keeping it fairly even so far. It's going to be interesting to see the fact. It's always been like, when DLC was slowly but surely coming out, Owl does spend a lot of time on each and every DLC character. He normally enters one or two tournaments with them. Griseous, on the other hand, I know has been, you know, had the Mewtwo, had a few other characters as well.
Of course, he has the Sora, he has the Terry. Ableton Steve played a little bit of Banjo from what I know, but usually focusing on, at most on the Sephiroth. That is his favorite 5+2 character.
Okay, and here we go. We've got the down tilts. You're right, Darkstalker would be proud right here, but excellent, excellent DI. Oh, and the parry, can you get anything off of it? Not quite. I'll hand it to him. Oh my goodness,
what am I watching?
Griseous' soul right now. Oh my goodness. And this is the scary thing about like playing against Owl, is that Owl has not only got the knowledge to like be 3 steps ahead, but he also knows those perfect situations where he's like 1 step behind.
Absolutely.
Like, he'll throw out that forward smash in neutral, and you've given him too much respect, so you've got hit by it, and you think, but he won't go for a second.
Of course.
He won't go for power dunk into power geyser, and he just does. But you respect it, because this isn't an 0-2 scrub. This is OwlBBs.
Absolutely, he has the fundamentals on deck, but mixing it up, I mean, with a double crack shoot, the crack shoot off stage, the crack shoot to advance. Can we get another crack shoot? Oh, power dunk.
They are just having a nice time right now. They're both just dunking away. They're just exchanging things. They're having a great time. Oh my goodness. Oh, and there we go. You see the beautiful mix-up after the 5th power dunk in a row. We have got the forward smash. Trying to get it again. Both goes on deck. Griseous is not working. Oh, and get dunked. Get power dunked.
This goes so hard. Can we get a screenshot? Can we get a screenshot?
The hottest gameplay you've seen in your life.
Frankly, this is what Smash Ultimate should be. I have never seen a match as tense, as close, as truly just challenging, seemingly to be in, as this one.
How can you give us a 9-9 and then walk us into this? I feel like I'm being like swung around in a room. Like, I don't know what's going on. Everything is blurry right now. And every time I see a glance of normality, it's not normal anymore. There are 2 Terrys on my screen.
I can't lie, these last 2 sets have been utterly shambolic, but hopefully we will have a sense of normalcy in this next game, potentially reverting to normal characters. I can only hope, unless Owl brings out the Mii Gunner.
Not the Mii Gunner. It was the brawler that traumatized me during lockdown era, but you never know. Oh, we got big shot on deck. We got hot music here. But are we gonna have hot characters? We got another Terry Ditto.
Mii Gunner, it's time. Oh,
no, K-Rule.
Unfortunately,
K-Rule is out, and Mewtwo is out as well. Okay, we're back to. You know what? Honestly, if you had told me this morning that Owl playing K-Rule was going to be the most normal thing I commentate today, honestly, I'd be surprised. I'd be surprised. And yet here we are. I'm relieved to see that the funny crocodile is back on my screen. And Griseous, of course, going to try and get a game on the board. Of course, on paper, this could be in favor of Mewtwo, but Owl with K. Rool is not one to be limited by such things as theoretically bad matchups.
Absolutely. As we saw in that Solid Gamer set, he has insane reversals and... Whoa!
You're so sick! You are the coolest person! Oh my goodness, just grabbing him out of that Shadow Ball saying, you think I'm done? Get out of here! Oh.
Pulling a Scorpion, get over here, your stock is mine! You're gone.
My god. There we go, and Griseous just not really stopping for anybody right now, just basing out that counter, not quite getting anything going with it so far. That crown just piercing through any defense that Griseous is trying to set up here and just bonking him in the back of the head. That belly does not matter, sir. Take the Shadow Ball.
Right now, Owl struggling a little bit to establish the foothold here, using the, well, I suppose the, I don't know what to call it, inhale?
Is the blunderbuss, I think.
The blunderbuss. You're trying to get a grab, but Griseous is just playing around it expertly. I just don't know how you find your opening here, especially as King K. Rool.
I think this is the thing in particular with a player like Griseous. Again, we've mentioned in the previous set that Griseous is very, very happy to sort of hang back, charge that Shadow Ball, and put the onus of approaching onto you. And I think particularly in this... Oh my God, Mewtwo was gone. That was a 2-frame animation. He was there and he went and then was back on the Angel platform. But Griseous has still got a whole stock to play with, and that means that that defensive style can still continue to be prominent here, because Owl is still on the back foot and still has to be the one approaching. Of course, that belly armor on the dash attack could make things a little spicier than maybe Griseous is anticipating.
Absolutely, and although Owl seems to be establishing a little bit of momentum in this particular match, right now Griseous playing a bit more defensive, going for those small openings, seems to be in a much more favorable position.
I love the fact that King K. Rool can like belly armor disable. That's really wild to me. Using that confusion just to get conversion into the Shadow Claw. Back throw not quite doing it. Just getting back, and yeah, going all the way down there. Although it is a little bit hard to intercept when you can see that K. Rool's going that low. The back air is just a foregone conclusion on that one.
Absolutely. And although we saw a bit of adaptation coming out from Owl, right now, you might be thinking, if he goes down another game, might we see a counter swap from the K. Rool?
It'll be interesting to see what Owl decides to go for. We are going to see the K. Rool in the game 3, which I do agree with. I do think that, you know, there are adaptations to be made. It is still, on paper, game 1 of main characters, not whatever it was in the actual game was. But, of course, you know, Owl got incredibly deep pockets here. So he's got plenty of options should this game 3 not work out. But we are seeing already 40% on Griseous. But Griseous is going to have an opportunity to get a combo of his own here.
Armoring through the jab, those buffs going to pay dividends. K. Rool mains globally. Right now, although that armor did come in clutch, Griseous seems to be finding those tiny openings, being able to take them quite far, but Owl's reversals always on point as well.
Yeah, and just plenty of reflection shenanigans going on right now. This ledge trap from Owl is looking ridiculous. The up tilt not quite gonna kill just yet, but Griseous has got to make his way back into stage right now, and an unfortunate little moment there from Owl, allowing the stage control to escape him, and now suddenly Griseous is exactly where he wants to be.
Absolutely, Owl seemingly shifting gears into this game 3, almost getting a confirm, a cheeky one, but still, oh yeah, that Nair armor.
Wow, that still doesn't kill though. That's such high percent, and trying to get the really slow counter, and another kill with a sour spot down air. Even if it's at 150, it is just what it takes.
Absolutely, K. Rool again. If you're playing as a heavyweight, and even if you get a sour spot, I'll probably kill relatively early compared to most characters.
That did 30% as well. It isn't going to kill at any point unless it's a little bit more charged, but that reflect can just rack up that little bit of damage so much quicker, and the armor on the throw of that crown, even a reflected crown, is not going to do it, and at 176%, finally that stock goes.
Absolutely, but again, like, if you have to take Owl to 150 plus every single stock, that is a bit of a bad omen.
Yeah, but 53% on the board already. Griseous doing such a good job using Mewtwo's superior mobility to just weave in and out of Cable's range and try and bait any kind of option. As we said earlier, Owl does tend to go for a little bit more, not random necessarily, but options that you wouldn't necessarily expect. And I think Griseous is beginning to respect that, just making sure that he's not getting hit by any of these counters. He's not getting hit by anything a little bit unorthodox. Just getting that, once again, that side B to forward air. That does get truer and truer as it goes on here.
Absolutely, and now Griseous seems to have brought it back in a pretty convincing fashion. That up air, yep, gonna seal it. And right now, you're on your last stock. Griseous seems to figure out what your game plan is.
Yeah, and that's the thing, that down throw, once again, another DI mix-up, but the down air into up air, a little bit of a custom combo there from Owl to even it right up. This is a vital turning point here. Game 3 is definitely the one that you want to win. You get that momentum running into any potential Game 5s with stage picks and character counter picks. And we can see Griseous just racking up bits of percent after bits of percent. It just keeps going.
Absolutely, right here, every opening counts when you're on that last stock. Obviously, you keep those reads in mind, but what matters most is finding those small loose openings to get that lead and snowball. And right now, Griseous seems to be the one taking the lead here.
Yeah, and this is where things can get really scary, especially when you neutral get up into a down smash like that. And that isn't really an option that we had seen in the set so far. It felt like he was keeping that right in the back pocket just to make sure that it was enough. And that is now 2 games in a row that Griseous has taken over the K rule. And the question you asked earlier lingers like an awful storm cloud of, will we see a character switch?
Well, we are sticking on the King K rule. We'll see if that's what it takes to even this out.
I mean, so I was speaking to Al a little bit earlier outside, and he was talking about sort of taking a bit of a break for like just a few weeks. You know, there's been a lot of big tournaments over the past few months here, so you know, either not entering or entering with K rule instead. You know, less serious characters. So I think, and Owl has always been a player that plays more so for fun. Like when he's having fun, that's when he's like his ideal when he plays Smash. Like he's not one to kind of win at any cost. As long as he's having fun, it doesn't really matter what's optimal.
Of course. And it shows in his character choices. He picks characters that he enjoys. Speaking of enjoying, he is enjoying that advantage state. Woo! Borderline 0 to death coming out right there. He's got momentum. Or he is pissed.
Either way, it's going to work out here for Owl. What a ridiculous start as well. And given how roughly even these stocks had been going in the previous games, that is a pretty vital lead, but it has been shrinking and shrinking at the hands of Griseous right now, who again is using that Shadow Ball to force these approaches and then getting these 2-3 pieces whilst keeping that stage control. He's doing such a good job. I mean, Owl is making those adaptations. We are seeing the Nair come out after that side B just to get that belly armor to try and stop any kind of follow-up. Oh, but no grab on the gap attack.
A fumble that could be pivotal. Yep, with that kind of heavy armor, you're living, and now you can use the armor, abuse that to get back on stage, reset neutral, and once again force Griseous to get a read. But well, you can get a read prematurely, that'll seal the stock.
Yeah, that Shadow Claw there finally taking that first stock from Owl, and I really like the fact that he waited out that counter as well. Of course, if you'd let loose that Shadow Ball like we'd seen Griseous do quite a few times already, that would have been a very dead Mewtwo. Either a shield broken or just a stock evaporated. So Griseous being aware of that and just making sure to wait for that counter and then go for that kill instead. Because this could have been a devastating lead. However, Owl is saying, hang on, there's still one coming on the horizon.
Absolutely, and now we saw this in the last game. We had quite a comfortable lead, but Griseous again started to find those small openings, and that's what allowed him to secure the stock. We'll see if he can secure it here, but right now, Owl, yet again, seems to be in that favorable position. But the question is, can he reset neutral safely?
Yeah, just using the safety of that forward air to get a jab out as well. Mewtwo getting pretty high in percent right now, being a very light character. Good DI out there on the down throw just to avoid that Shadow Claw, just powering their way through the Shadow Ball. And I've really got to commend Owl for something. However, I've got to commend Griseous first for that pretty insane down smash there Oh my goodness! Trying to go for the double dip to end it all right there. It feels like Griseous in the last 20 seconds has just flicked a switch and just become something unheard of right now.
Absolutely, this is exactly what happened in that last game. Owl had that lead, but Griseous found those small openings and turned it, well, into a floodgate.
This is a really, really scary moment, and this is the thing. Oh my goodness, Mewtwo being so tall and Owl taking advantage of it with those down airs. Just even when Griseous is on the ground and trying to shark with those up tilts or those up airs, the fact that Owl can land on Mewtwo and hit that down air and then combo off of it, it's horrifying. It's horrifying.
It is absolutely ludicrous. And I do have to give props to Owl on that second stock, just using that Maldivian DI to narrowly dodge that second there.
Yeah.
Fantastic work.
Yeah, it's so tempting in that situation to just double jump because you're scared, and I think Griseous maybe trying to really take advantage of that moment of panic. But Owl, he's been in the business for a long time. He has been in spicier situations than you can imagine when it comes to Ultimate, and certainly he is, you know, he's experienced enough to know not to fall for that kind of trick.
Absolutely. And speaking of tricks, we're gonna need to see all of them come out of the bag in this game 5. Owl versus Griseous. The other games matter, the reads matter, but what matters the most now is, can you get those reads? Can you offset your opponent's momentum? Can you secure it and sit in grand finals?
Yeah, this is a really, really precarious game for both of these players. We have been seeing some real back and forth moments. I think particularly from Griseous' end, there have been these real moments where it felt like Owl just had a pretty easy game 4, and then Griseous made it look absolutely terrifying. The comeback was very much there, but didn't quite manage to pull through all the way. And it's whether Griseous can really tap into those moments where he just grabs one moment of advantage and just runs as many miles as he can, and catching the mash there. The up smash gonna catch the pop out, and it's gonna take the stock fairly early, 110 after the hit, and this is where things can get really scary. We've seen Owl live up to 130, 140, 150% in these situations.
Absolutely. When it comes to mashing, when you get buried, you always think, I need to get out of here as fast as possible, but it's always easy to forget that your opponent could be anticipating that, and that's what allowed Owl to secure the stock right there. And we'll see if Griseous is aware of that, potentially tries to mix up his mash timing in this next stock, if he gets buried once again.
Yeah, I think Griseous unfortunately just didn't quite have the timing on the grab armor, and that is going to be a dead K. Rool, just going super deep for that back air, to the point where even K. Rool's up B couldn't quite get out of there.
Absolutely, Owl getting a little bit too adventurous. We'll see if he comes to regret it. The Nair Train's coming out. The Shadow Ball is slightly on deck. We'll see if Griseous has what it takes to even out this damage.
Yeah, and I think Griseous is just trying to grab the crown and make it something worthwhile. Something that you can see here is Griseous using the grab armor and the throw armor just to get rid of the crown that's coming back, just making sure that it is a non-factor when it comes to getting these conversions. And oh my goodness, that shield is looking awfully, awfully small right now. We can see a bold little crocodile missing his crown.
Here we go. Crown is absolutely pivotal if you're playing as K-Rool. It's one of your best conditioning tools. It is one of your best confirm tools. And when you're lacking it, what do you do?
It felt like Griseous was just in Owl's head at that moment. Just those moments, that movement, just making sure that Owl really had nowhere to go. But once again, Mewtwo's tall hurt box is proving to be absolutely fatal to Griseous' chances right now.
Right through that platform, and you're sitting on your last stock. K-Rool with Rage. We know the story. You're fighting a super heavy. He has Rage.
And you don't, but you just about get that kill. Up throw, and here we are. Tale as old as time, Gaia. Game 5 last stock.
What are you bringing out? You need to bust out every single trick in the book right now. If you're K-Rool, you're bringing out your Encyclopedia Telisodry. If you're Mewtwo, you're bringing out your Pokemon Guide. What are you doing? What is the move?
Yep, and we can see at the moment Owl just beginning to run away with it a little bit here. 70% going for these down airs. Oh my goodness, and just going straight through Mewtwo's head. The shield just about coming up in time, making 40% for his troubles here. This is so delicate between both of these players. The armor not quite working out there. Another 10% on Owl, but these belly armor Nairs are proving to be so fatal. Griseous just managing to get a little 2-3 piece here and just electing to return to neutral, charging that Shadow Ball, offering Owl, saying, approach me, sir, approach me.
Absolutely. In these last stock situations, you cannot afford to make any mistakes. You cannot make any telegraph ledge movements. And Griseous playing ultra careful, trying his hardest, his damnedest to avoid any kind of hit, but it
Didn't quite kill, not quite being in the perfect positioning to get that kind of punish. You've got to really commend the match from Owl as well, giving Griseous not quite enough time to get a heftier punish to be able to seal out that stock, but 131%. These reflects! And Owl not quite being there and overcoming the King K. Rule. Griseous in grand finals.
Sitting comfortably in that grand on winner's side. Props to him, making those adjustments and being clutch with such a light character. Fantastic work to him. And we'll be seeing Owl move on to the loser side and potentially face the winner of, again, the RNG God and Solid Gamer.
Absolutely.